Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, July 13th. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, the president announces that he is granting clemency to 46 prisoners whose sentences he says do not fit their crimes. Norman Brown of Hyattsville, Maryland, is one of them. He was sentenced back in 1993 to life in prison for distribution and possession of crack cocaine, as well as aiding and abetting. In a video address, President Obama says the U.S. spends more than $80 billion a year incarcerating people for nonviolent drug offenses.
If they'd been sentenced under today's laws, nearly all of them would have already served their time. I've made clear to them that re-entering society is going to require responsibility on their part, and hard work, and smarter choices. I also believe there's a lot more we can do to restore the sense of fairness at the heart of our justice system, and to make sure our tax dollars are well spent, even as we are keeping our streets safe. That's something I'm going to do.
And 5 of the people receiving commuted sentences are from Virginia. The president says he will travel to Philadelphia tomorrow to lay out plans and ideas for criminal justice reform.
Well, after several extended deadlines and 17 straight days of negotiation, it appears a historic nuclear deal with Iran is imminent. United States officials, as well as diplomats from the United Kingdom, France, Russia, China, and Germany have been in Vienna, Austria for the talks. The 6 world powers are trying to draft an agreement that would impose restrictions on Iran's nuclear program and lift debilitating sanctions. CTV spoke with Senator Ben Cardin, who says he's hopeful a decision will be made soon.
The bottom line is we're evaluating it to make sure that Iran cannot become a nuclear weapon state. We don't trust Iran, so there has to be verification, inspections. There has to be ability for us to snap back sanctions if Iran violates the agreements, and we have adequate time to do that. We've got to make sure that Iran's nuclear activities are totally consistent with civil nuclear program and not a military or a weapon program. All that are going to be issues that we're going to evaluate to see whether an agreement, in fact, accomplishes that.
If passed, the deal could help the Iranian economy and possibly lower gas prices with the Iranian oil flow into the market. Members of Congress held a rally on Social Security outside the White House. This afternoon, the group of elected officials presented the White House with a petition with more than 2.5 million signatures in support of Social Security expansion. The rally coincided with President Barack Obama's White House Conference on Aging.
Petition, we hope, will get the attention of the administration. We're hoping that President Obama will, like President Truman or President Kennedy, invest in Social Security by expanding the system, by expanding benefits. And that money, of course, gets back into the economy.
I think the White House today is having a conference on aging. You can't talk about aging unless you talk about the protections of retirement security for millions of Americans. And the fact that we were able to deliver today to the White House 2.5 million petition signatures of Americans saying it's time for us to expand Social Security.
During that conference, President Obama commented on the issue, stating, quote, "We have to work to do more to ensure that every older American has the resources and the support that they need to survive."
More than 50 firefighters from Howard and Prince George's counties battle a house fire on Sunday in Laurel. The blaze broke out about 7 p.m. in the 9400 block of Riverbrink Court. Now, crews responded to the 2-story end-unit townhome where heavy flames caused significant structural damage. One Prince George's firefighter suffered burn injuries to both hands. No one was home at the time. Investigators are trying to determine what caused that fire. Meantime, authorities say an in-depth report on an Anne Arundel County mansion fire that killed a family of 6 in January has been delayed several months. This as federal investigators look into arsons that occurred during the Baltimore riots. According to the Capital Gazette, agents from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives continue to gather information related to the blaze, which claimed the lives of an Annapolis couple and their 4 young grandchildren. The Gazette reports that investigators had hoped to release a report in May detailing the electrical fire, but the immediacy of the Baltimore riots took precedence.
Well, family and friends attended the funeral services today for the beloved Bowie State faculty member, Dr. Freddie Vance. Vance passed away on Saturday, July 4th. A D.C. native, he graduated from Calvin Coolidge Senior High School and received his undergraduate degree from the St. Augustine College in 1973. He also earned master's degrees from Montclair State College and Howard University.
I met Dr. Vaughn at Howard University Center for Sickle Cell Disease back in 1985, and he was a counselor there because my son has sickle cell disease, and so we worked with him. He was a very active and very good person that, spread the gossip about sickle cell.
I think he left a legacy of never giving up. So make sure you strive for what you want and go for it, and don't let no one tell you that you can't do it.
The professor is survived by his wife Sabrina and 3 children. You are watching CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Valone.